1:38, fire-breathing sports sedans due to take the grid for the 8-lap sports sedan race for Eon FM, 24.8 kilometres round the Sandown circuit. On pole position, Tony Hubbard, Falcon, 1 minute 12 seconds. Beside him, Larry Coggy in a Mazda RX-7, 1:14.4. On the second row of the grid, Tino Leo in a gold Holden Monaro, 1:14.4. Beside him, Charles Milner Tirana, 1:15.1. On the third row, Ken Lusty should be there, 1:16.2 in his Tirana. Beside him, Stuart Douglas, EH Holden, 1 minute 16.8. Flags out, field ready to go. Hubbard fast away in the big blue Falcon.
Coggy, it's a dreadful start in the RX3, falling back through the field. He's now in 5th place. He held up Graham Lusty enormously. We've got a flat tyre, I think, on 43, Ken Lusty, parking it out on the grass. Certainly a problem.
And Lusty very much bringing the field undone.
As Hubbard now tries to reassert himself in the lead.
Monaro versus Falcon.
Much of an argument, as Hubbard's got a lot of squirt, but then hanging on and arguing is Tino Leo. So, in fact, the argument is a good one.
Down through the S's. Hubbard against Leo.
Milner in 24, I think that's...
Falcon against Monaro, and just watch the grandstand go wild this time round. But it's Hubbard opening the lead.
Standing lap of 1:18.1. Average speed of 143 kilometres an hour. Oh, will he keep it off the fence? Yes, but only just, and loses a lot of valuable ground. And the lose back there in car 39 is Jeff Munday in his Chev Monza, going the wrong direction against traffic. Was in 5th place when he crossed the start-finish line, is nowhere now. But Hubbard he's leading from Leo. From Milner, 42 in 3rd place.
The Sandown crowd loves the confrontation between Ford and General Motors. Both manufacturers based in Melbourne. Probably a lot of the people in the grandstand here today work for one company or the other. And certainly Ford and General Motors has a polarising effect on the crowd here. And indeed also on the drivers. Tony Hubbard, a man who loves his Ford, so much so that he cried bitterly when it was wrecked in a crash in Adelaide last year.
Gap first to second is 3 seconds, and a flying lap for Hubbard, 11.86, 155 kilometres an hour. This is Milner, 3rd. A long gap to 4th. This car that was actually the quickest away when the flag dropped, 44, Graham Lusty Salika, shot away from the line, but was held up. He had traffic in front of him and nowhere to go, but he was actually accelerating faster than anybody, quite measurably. Motor car, Tony Hubbard's ex-Jim Richards Falcon. Very much lighter though than the standard Falcon, of course, because this is an anything goes category. And he now has a lead of 5.1 seconds. This man, Leo. Milner, you can see, is not so far behind him. Then Lusty, 8-9 seconds in arrears, being hammered by 47
John Chambers.
Chambers looks to be close, but in fact he's about a second behind him. Quick through Yellow Terra corner. Hoggy, who put up a good fight. Sorry, 39 we're looking at. Jeff Munday, who in the Chevy Monza spun at the end of pit straight, is now down in 29th place.
Debris flying all over the track. We've seen a couple of occasions now where odd bits of bodywork have been picked up by tires. We just saw something fall off the back. Oh, and there we go. That's Lusty's car, is it? Up on Castrol Corner. Difficult to tell through the smoke and dust.
Sandown Hotel doorman invites him to get out.
And yet more debris on the track. There goes the leader.
This is how that particular incident happened. Two cars dicing and out wide and glancing back out of the dirt and forward into the fence on the other side of the track.
Hubbard now works his way through traffic. Takes over from Warwick Massey. Car 42 heading for the pits is Charles Milner, who was holding third position.
Hubbard weaving his way through the traffic in the Falcon. On his 5th lap, Hubbard, in an 8-lap race. So behind him now, the race order is 84. Tino Leo still holding second in the Monaro. And in third place is John Chambers in the Gemini-bodied car with a Mazda rotary engine, car number 47.
At least a couple of examples of oil flags out around the circuit, which is not going to please the Australian Touring Car Championship field when it comes to the grid shortly.
And of interest is that 47, John Chambers, has now been displaced for third by Graham Lusty, coming forward in car number 44. 6-litre V8 engine in his Celica-bodied car.
Stephen Harrison pulls his Escort into the pits and put it straight away. Tino Leo charges through our shot.
This is the man now in third place, Graham Lusty. He's overtaken 47 for that position. John Chambers had gone well in an earlier race, got an excellent jump away from the line, but was blocked by other cars. And now it'll be interesting to see whether in the next 2 and a bit laps remaining, whether he can make ground on second place Leo. Very fast down the straight, the big V8 powered cars, getting up around 240 kilometres an hour.
One and a half laps remaining for Tony Hubbard in the lead. And quite a gap, in fact, established now back to Tino Leo. Certainly a refreshing start to the 1984 season for Tony Hubbard, who's got just about every penny he owns in the world invested in this motor car. And when it rode itself off in a horrific crash at Adelaide International Raceway last year, started when Peter Brock in the Bob Jane Monza came straight across the starting grid and took out several cars, including Jim Richards' BMW Sport Sedan. Hubbard really thought his motor racing days were over. It's very good to see such work over Christmas rewarded and see him back on the grid and racing this year.
Now he leads by 13 seconds on his final lap against Tino Leo. It's a further 16.6 seconds back to Graham Lusty. Hubbard driving very sensibly, actually. He's keeping up enough pace to keep his concentration going, but doing it very tidily, looking after the car, not being silly.
Obviously a
very easy win.
Obviously a long way off the lap record, which stands to Tony Edmondson at 1 minute 6 seconds. So the checkered flag comes out now for Tony Hubbard, winner of the Eon FM Sports Sedan race over 8 laps. Second position now, Tino Leo in the Holden Monaro. Gold, looking like something out of Mad Max.
And a race time of 9 minutes 53.07 seconds.
And third position, of course, to car 44, Graham Lusty. The Toyota Celica across the finish line now, just ahead of car 47, John Chambers.